for Trad afternoon show. My name's Simon Thoumire, and I'm currently broadcasting from my Lochside Palace of Loch Lomond. I hope you like it, and I hope you like the birds that are going around. I'm very lucky to be joined by Siobhan Miller and Findlay Napier today. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing today?
Joe Wicks.
That is more than I've done, Findlay.
Joe Wicks.
I had a little cup of tea on my doorstep in the sunshine so far.
Are you getting much exercise in at the moment?
I'm trying to use my once a day to go out for a run. So that's been it's been a nice little bit of getting fresh air.
Do you run with like a big hula hoop with a 1 meter radius on it?
Yeah, I do. Oh, I just wear a really, really ridiculous outfit, so people are just taking large steps away from me.
I seen one the other day actually on the.
Yeah.
Very good.
It would work, right? If you saw me out running, you'd be like, getting away from her.
Singing one of your songs.
Yeah.
Cholesterol!
Everyone's like clearing the pathway for me.
Well, anyway, before we get started talking about all our different albums coming out, we have got our Glasgow correspondent, Mohsen Amini, and he's prepared a wee video for us. Can you hear me? Okay. Hello. You can hear me. Great. Welcome to Glasgow. How are you getting on? I am Mohsen Amini. I'm the Glasgow correspondent for this. We are in Glasgow and the weather is incredible. It's unbelievably sunny outside, although we might not be able to go and see it. So we're going to have to get the fake tan out to make us feel good. We've got the window ajar so we can see what it still feels like to see the fresh air. But no, can't get too much. So basically all I've been doing is figuring out how to work TikTok. And I'm going to run you through my day now.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the motherfucker in the house bored and I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house bored. Bored in the house, bored in the house bored. Bored in the house, bored in the house bored. I'm bored in the motherfucker in the house bored.
So if you didn't get that, pretty bored in my house. But we're doing things to keep us busy. I've got my concertina out, practicing all the time, playing loads and loads of guitar, and we have managed to reschedule. Oh, I was practicing loads of guitars. We've managed to reschedule most of the Talus gigs, and they'll be happening later on in the year. But apart from rescheduling and practicing a lot of music, I've just been watching a heavy dose of Netflix, and I would highly recommend to get on Tiger King because you don't want to be left behind. Anyway, back to you in the studio. We'll see you all very soon. Well, thanks very much, Mohsen. He was just getting a wee shot of the Hands Up for Trad Sonic logo there. So, Siobhan, you've just released your brand new album, All Is Not Forgotten.
I have, yes.
This is your third solo album, is that correct?
This is number 4.
Number 4?
I know. Just firing them out.
And what are they all?
Flight of Time was first. I did that with James Grant. Then I brought out Strata. After that, with all my favourite traditional songs. And Mercury was the last record I brought out, which was all newly written songs. And yeah, this is All Is Not Forgotten is number 4.
And how have you approached this album? Is it have you thought about a different way?
Yeah, this record, I wanted it to be very different to the last one. So went down a much more stripped back sound, with us all playing in the same room, or the band were all in one room for a lot of the recording time. I wanted this record to have a really live sound, really because I wanted something that represented more of what I do in the live show. The other records we've had a much bigger sound, and the last record certainly was a much more produced sound. So this time was kind of going the opposite way, and just really trying to get as raw and honest a sound as possible.
And the material's quite varied on it as well.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've brought the newly written songs and the traditional material together. And in the live shows, I have always done both. But I've always kept them in very separate worlds for recording, and decided there's not really any reason for that. And I thought it'd be nice to try to get an overall sound that would allow me to have the material side by side. It was a lot of fun to make. It was probably the most fun I've had in the recording studio.
Yeah, I mean, I love the album, I have to say, and I've read some great reviews of it. I did laugh at your version of Cholesterol.
Yeah, I've been singing that for years and years. My dad used to sing it at family parties, and I would just like sing one line when I was like 6 or 7. And I'm a huge Adam McNaughton fan, and I have been singing it quite a lot at the live shows, and a lot of people had been asking, where can we hear this recorded? And I'd always kind of felt like it would need to be in a live setting for me to do that with an audience, but I really wanted to get it on this record. So we were kind of messing around singing it in the studio, and John Lowry, who's on keys, and Innes White, who's on guitar and mandolin, they came up with these kind of just lovely kind of music hall sounding parts, and I just thought let's just go for it. And Hamish Napier and Findlay Napier and Gillian Frame, they all came in and gave me a big good raucous chorus.
Of course, I mean, your dad is such a fabulous musician himself. He was actually one of the first folk musicians I ever saw as a teenager.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, I learned when I was learning the concertina, there was a man called Tom Ward who was a massive help to me. And I remember going up to Balerno Folk Club when your dad was playing with Charlie Soane.
Yeah, my uncle, yeah.
Tom was playing in the trio with them as well. It was amazing.
Brilliant.
And who, let's have a quick look at your album cover, because here it is. Is it here? No, it's not. Hold on. Let's find your album cover. Here it is. Look at that. That's a lovely album cover. Who designed that for you?
I work with James Morrison, who is a great designer that I've used for all of the records. It's Ellie Lucas that took the pictures that are inside it as well. Well, she's a lovely photographer.
Oh, isn't she? I love her stuff online, just in general. She's a
she's does beautiful things.
And do you have? I know your tour was cancelled for doing that. Has it been rescheduled?
Yeah, we're still working on that. Lots of it's been moved to later in the year and into next year. So that was why we decided to do some of the online concerts at the weekend. It came out on Friday, and we were really sad not to be out playing the live shows. I was really looking forward to that. We played a couple of shows just before when we were still able to do that, but we thought we started doing some songs live on Facebook. So that's been really nice to share some of the material with people.
Yeah, and I would say if anyone hasn't seen that out there, I've caught little bits of these concerts and they're totally great. You and Ewan together, it's just so nice and so natural.
well, when we got it working, it took us a while the first night.
So you can buy the album at SiobhanMiller.com.
That's right, yeah. And I'm signing all of the records and can write messages for people as well.
Oh, that's great, actually. Well, you mentioned Findlay Napier on that album with his wife Gillian, and Findlay actually wrote one of the songs on the album with your husband Ewan. He did,
yeah. It's kind of another lovely part of this record has been bits of co-writing. So the title track, All Is Not Forgotten, that was written with myself, Chris Drever and Ewan. But one of the tracks, Ewan and Findlay, I think they started this like a good few years ago as a song that they were writing together, and kind of, I don't know if it got forgotten about or but it got dug back out. It's called While the Whole World Sleeps.
You can tell us, Findlay, how did you remember that you'd written that song?
Ewan remembered. I wrote it at the UK Songwriting Festival in 2013. and it would have been an exercise. There was a guy called Jez Ashurst who was kind of looking after my group, and he gave us, every day we would get set a task and we would go away and write a song or 2 songs or something. And yeah, I can't remember. I feel like the task for that was to make something where we use lots of assonance, like repetition of a vowel sound. But I can't really remember. Anyway, I remember that I had to give it to somebody else. So I wrote the lyric and I had to pass it on to someone else, and they were to put a tune to it. And I remember I wasn't, it sounds really bad, I wasn't that happy with the tune that the guy had put to it. He went a bit mad with it, and I didn't feel like that it needed something as mad as that. And anyway, Ewan was looking for lyrics a wee while ago, so I sent him over those lyrics and he put a tune to it. And then I think just before you went in to record it, he put another tune to it. Is that right?
No, I think that, yeah, you had a tune that you guys had worked on, and then
I never had anything to do with the tune.
The Ewan wrote, and
the tune's brilliant. But that's what's so great about it, is I had nothing to do with it. But I think I rewrote the lyrics again. I feel like I did it on my mobile phone one day. I remember it getting sent back and forward, the lyrics, and they were changing, and you were both coming up with lots of different ideas. But the tune Ewan wrote, and it's really lovely to sing. Thank you. It's weird how they get away like that, though. There's things that just completely forget about, and then you go back and you're like, oh, actually, that's quite good. I've been doing that a bit with Boo Hewardine, just going over some songs for my next album, and there's things that didn't make VIP because they weren't about very interesting persons, and things that didn't make Glasgow because they weren't about Glasgow. And looking back at them, you think, oh, that song was rubbish, and then you listen to it, you go, man, that was actually all right. That's pretty decent. Like a little tweak here and a little tweak there, that thing's ready to go. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. Well, we're going to hear a little bit of Siobhan's video for All Is Forgotten in a minute, but I think we're going to have a wee chat to Findlay, because Findlay has a brand new album coming out very soon.
Here it is, the Ledger. So, and also artwork by Ellie Lucas as well. Oh no, Ellie did all the photographs and all the artwork for us, which is fantastic. But yeah, the album's out on the 1st of May, and it's all traditional Scottish folk songs. And my grandfather, Findlay Cumming, who I never met, he used to collect songs out the back of the Scotsman newspaper. They would publish these wee articles. In fact, I can show you them right here, because they're in the booklet. So these articles, so here's the article for Van Diemen's Land. I'll just hold that up to the screen like a... is that out of focus, or is that...
Totally
out of focus. How's that? There you go. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so they look like that. Anyway... so these wee articles, he cut them out and he would learn the songs and sing them. So I guess it was like right at the start of the folk scene, before the wee red book of Scottish folk songs and the Scottish folk singer came out. And actually, if you look at these articles, the font and the writing is exactly the same. So they basically took them out of the newspaper and put them in a book. So it's pretty. It's a really lovely thing, and it was really nice to revisit a lot of these songs and also just to learn some of them. I'd not heard them. I'd not sung them before, but I know them. They're all like really, really well-known songs. It's kind of like folk music 101.
And who are the musicians in the band?
Oh, them. Oh, you don't need to. Who? Well, one of them is Gillian Frame, my wife. And it was really her idea. It's really Gillian should really be Gillian speaking, because she has kind of driven this project. So Gillian was like, we should do something with this old ledger book with these songs in it, and then Mike Vass, we got Mike in to produce, and he played lots of instruments on it, and then at the very last minute, Ewan Burton came in and smashed some bass down on it, and Stevie Fivey came in and played a whole heap of percussion on a couple of tracks. It is the longest album I have ever made in terms of like VIP took 4 days, Glasgow took 3 days, the Ledger took 2 years. 2 years, and we didn't even have to write the songs or the melodies or anything. It took 2 years, but it sounds like Mike has done an absolutely amazing job with the production. And it was really nice as well to work with that constraint of just like, we can only things really that are going on this at first was just whatever I could do with guitars, whatever Jill could do with fiddles, and obviously our voices, and then kind of like trying to build something out of that, using effects and things like that. So although it's a very acoustic album, it's actually, there's quite a lot of other little tweaks on it. And then we were like, we need to get bass on this because there's not enough bottom end. And we need to get percussion on a couple of these ones because it needs percussion. But we only use the percussion very sparingly. It was really good fun.
Oh, it sounds great. Well, that is available to buy at findlaynapier.com.
Or the Bandcamp is probably the best place to get it right now, which is, but yeah, you'll find that on my findlaynapier.com.
And actually, I would also say join Findlay's newsletter.
Oh yeah,
because Findlay does a regular newsletter and it's great.
My monthly newsletter that comes out every 2 months. I keep saying it'll come out monthly. Sometimes it does. If I'm not working that much, it does come out every month.
That's great. I'd just quite like to say hello to Peter O'Connor, who's watching from Australia. He's 68% Scottish. And also Grant Robertson from Fife. Peter O'Connor's actually wondering if you're wearing a clan shirt.
Yeah, it's the Napier drinking tartan. Started early today. I do Joe Wicks and I like to have a large Bloody Mary after that. Sometimes I have a Bloody Mary during Joe Wicks. So there's a wee 2-minute break in the middle. And then I like to get on it there. Can of Tennant or something. It's good. You got to keep your, what are they called again? Is it your, not isotopes? What are the things they're always banging on about in these drinks? Isotonic.
Isotonics.
Yeah. Tennants and Bloody Marys are technically isotonic drinks.
Well, on that note, we're now going to hear a little bit of Siobhan's video, All Is Not Forgotten.
Been digging for treasure on this eastern isle, sun-kissed packages hidden and hard, sweet peas and snowdrops, harebells, sunflowers and hyacinths, like a time capsule, all hidden in words. I turn a page and there's gold in an envelope that opens up chapters that have been unread for years. The house we shared for so many years together, the sounds of the cricket ground echoed through the alley.
There's Siobhan. Bye, Siobhan. Brilliant. So how's it going, Fiona?
Good, thank you, Simon. Yeah.
Broadcasting live from your conservatory?
I am locked in my conservatory away from the children. Yeah.
That's amazing, which is kind of relevant, really, because you're here to tell us about the Face Ross virtual festival that's coming up.
Yeah, we're very excited because we thought we had to cancel our 30th anniversary of the Adult Face, and it's been really lovely to make it happen online. So we're going to use Facebook Live and have 3 days of workshops and concerts.
Amazing. And what are the dates for it?
It's the 1st to the 3rd of May.
And how exactly will it work? Is there a timetable that people will play? Is it workshops? Is it workshops and concerts?
Yeah, we've got a timetable. So at 10 a.m. every day of the 3 days, there'll be a fiddle workshop. So we've got Duncan Chisholm, who's on our board of directors. He's starting it off on the Friday, and then Lauren McCall's going to be teaching a tune from the Sear commission that she did for us a few years ago. And Ian Fraser, I had commissioned Ian to write a new suite of music for the 30th anniversary of the Adult Face. So he's going to teach a tune from that, and we'll premiere that at a later date. But yeah, so 10 a.m, 12, 2 and 4 every day there's a workshop, and then there'll be concerts in the evening.
Did you tell us the dates, or did I just blank that?
I did tell you, it's the 1st to the 3rd of May.
Nothing new there. That's fantastic. Well, actually, because both Findlay and Siobhan are going to be performing at it as well.
They are indeed. I'm doing a slightly bonkers thing on the Sunday night. So the Friday night concert is with Fiona and Fiona Mackenzie. The Saturday night is Lauren McCall and Ewan McPherson. And on this Sunday night, I'm attempting to recreate our tutor concert that we always have up in Ullapool. So on the Face Ross Facebook page, every 15 minutes, a different act will log on and perform 2 numbers for you. So the lineup's quite extraordinary. We've got Donald Shaw is kicking it off with his wife, Karen Matheson. Donald taught at the first Adult Face. And then we've got folk like Claire Mann, who teaches on our programme that we deliver in schools in Dumfries and Galloway. We've got some of our former Cayley Trail participants. We've got Ailish Sutherland, Ilona Kennedy, Misha McPherson, Kim Carney. There's a whole raft of people. So over the weekend, we've got 35 musicians involved.
Oh, that just sounds great, guys. So I hope you're all ready for that, Findlay and Siobhan.
Absolutely.
Yep, can't wait.
No pressure.
Yeah. Got
Don't
my
be late for
microphone
your
all set
slot,
up.
Findlay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Don't forget your CDs.
Always on hand.
Excellent.
Well, we're going to celebrate this. It's all coming together. Actually, can I just mention a wee comment from Philip McHenry, who says, oh, can I put this on the screen? Oh, I thought, I can. Look. He's actually saying, just adoring Siobhan's work, and will definitely be buying the album as a birthday present or two. Absolutely the best singer I have discovered this year. How lovely, actually.
Very nice.
I think at the bit below he was talking about Findlay, but we'll just blank that.
Yeah.
I hate
he
that
can log
man's
in.
face.
You can log in and do a workshop with Siobhan. Siobhan's also teaching
Yeah, I'm
a
going to be
song
teaching
workshop.
some Scots song. You can come and have a sing.
Oh, amazing.
On the Sunday.
I know them all now. I know.
You're not allowed to come, Findlay.
I think I know that. I ruined Siobhan's online stream last week as well. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you listen to, sometimes when people broadcast on Facebook like we're doing right now, if they simultaneously broadcast to Instagram, it cuts out some of the shots, which makes it higher in pitch, like the Chipmunks. So we were watching Siobhan and Ewan, and it was like listening to the Chipmunks. And we were thinking it was hilarious, not realising that poor Siobhan was getting quite stressed out. And we were sending them text messages, my God, you guys sound like the Chipmunks. Sorry.
Well, anyway, on that note, we're going to have a quiz.
All right.
Now, we had
Okay.
it for Trad. We do love our quizzes. Some of you might have seen them online with our host, Alana McInnes. But tonight, I am Alana. I think. Anyway, we've got, how many questions? 5 questions. So there has to be a winner. Now, did you remember to bring a buzzer?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
that doesn't work.
Oh, professional. Right, here we go. Right, here's the first question.
I've got a tankard.
What's in that, Findlay?
Money.
Tenants.
Right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
How many times has Siobhan Miller won Scots Singer of the Year at the MG Album Scots Trad Music Awards?
Am I allowed to answer that?
Findlay.
Twice.
Wrong.
3.
Congratulations, Fiona. 1-0, Fiona.
Yay!
3 times.
Next question. How many albums and EPs has Findlay Napier released under his own name, including duos? Siobhan?
300.
Close.
Wait. Including duos.
This is according to Wikipedia.
1. Oh, right, okay. 1.
7.
Wrong.
5, 6. Is it like 10?
9. Close, but no cigar.
Wait a minute. I'm just going to check that.
We can check it after the show.
I will, sorry.
Name
Don't
the
ruin
writer-
another live screen.
Name the writer of the song Only One Way. Siobhan.
Cream Port?
Congratulations, yes.
Yeah.
1-1. Findlay nil.
It's alright, I'll catch
You
up.
better be quick for this one. Where
Yeah, sorry,
will
get
you
my
find
shaker.
the Cayley place?
Alpo.
Yeah.
I think that was Fiona got that right there.
Yay!
So 2-1-0 to Findlay. And the final question is, what is the name of Joni Mitchell's first album?
Oh.
I'll give you a clue. Song to a...
Oh, come on.
Stranger?
Don't know.
It flies.
Bird.
Bird.
Sorry, seagull.
So technically I was right then.
But that means the winner today is Fiona Dalgetty.
Hey.
Oh, thank you.
Well, guys, thanks very much for being part of our afternoon show. We will be back next week with David Foley and Jack Smedley and their album on Monday at 2 p.m. But I'll see you later, and 1st to 3rd of May for the virtual festival, The Ledger on findlaynapier.com or the Bandcamp, and SiobhanMiller.com for that album. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Simon.
Cheerio.
Thanks, Simon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.